What is up, all you beautiful people? It is I, AkemiTCG, back here with a brand new video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the bell button. I am uploading 5 days a week. So let's get right into it. As promised, we got 20 likes on the rikkafairy video. I'm just trying to remember what decks I do because I do a lot of decks here. So I'm going to show you guys the full deck list. As promised, I'm going to go right through it. I'm running a couple different variants right now. Right now I'm working on rikkafairies. The other one I'm working on is rikkafairy Aromages, but the one I made in that video is just straight rikkafairies. So let's go right into the list. 40 cards, 4 extra consistency. So 1 Titania, that's going to be the negation for the deck, the monster negation. In particular, not just monster negations, but any targeting negation. So for example, impermanence, pretty much anything that targets Widow Anchor. Excuse me. 2 Helper, the rikkafairies. Can't really play 3. Can't really play 1. I think 2 is the right amount. These 3 are the targeting protections, and sometimes you want this in your hand against certain decks. Other times you just want it in the graveyard, just so you can tribute one of your own monsters and get something else out of it. 3 Snowdrop, obviously this is the bread and butter of the deck. If you're not playing 3 Snowdrops, I don't know what you're doing. You need this to pretty much make any of your exceeds, whatever levels you want, depending on the other level of the exceed you use for it. In the future, we're also going to get the new rikkafairy card in the set after Eternity Code, so probably September, October this year. So definitely 3 Snowdrop. I can't see any list that plays Rikka without 3 Snowdrop. 2 Erica, this is your honest Neos, except not nearly as strong, except it does have some recursion. If it's in the graveyard and you tributed a monster this turn, then it can come back. And it's a level 6, so you can easily make your girl Kanzashi with that. Next 3 Mudan. Arguably, this is the second best rikkafairy next to Snowdrop, just because it lets you search any of your Rikka spells and traps, and you have quite a few to go from. The main combo is you go Snowdrop while you have Mudan in your hand, summon Mudan. Mudan search for something you want, whether it's a Glamour, a Flurries, or Sheet, or Tranquility, any of those 4, and then you go off into Teardrop or Kanzashi, depending on what the matchup is or what you're dealing with. 2 Cyclamen. This is a pure rikkafairy build, so I am playing 2 Cyclamen. This card is honestly just okay. You tribute it, and then the end phase it comes back. So let's say you have Flurries on the field, you can tribute it, so it goes away from your hand, so you can special summon onto the field during your end phase. So later on, next turn, you can use Rikka Flurries, assuming you have, let's say, Sheet or Tranquility face down. So you can actually resolve Rikka Flurries. 3 Primula, I really like this card. Pretty much is a free special summon, it's a plant, it's a Rikka, so everything you want in one package, and it also buffs up your monster's levels by 2. So for example, you don't have Snowdrop on the field, but you have Hellbore and Mudan. You can have Primula buff the Mudan by 2 levels, so it's now level 8, and now you can go for an easy Teardrop. And that's exactly what you want to go for. 3 Lonefire, obviously. This card is amazing. You can deck them with it, do so much with it. If you Snowdrop into Lonefire, that's super free, because you basically go Snowdrop and special summon Lonefire. Lonefire, sack itself, summon Petal. Petal, search for whatever you want. Then Snowdrop is going to copy its own level and distribute it to the rest of the plants. And Rikka Petal will be level 8. And since it's level 8, you can go off into Teardrop. Easy as pie. Rikka Petal, it's on its own tier. I've said that Snowdrop is the best, but this is honestly Rikka Petal, its own level of best. It's an Elemental Hero Stratos for the deck, but it's not when it's summoned, it's just once per turn, which is technically slightly better. It's also a Rikka, and it also comes back during your opponent's end phase. It says specifically, during your opponent's end phase, while this card is in your graveyard, if you have no monsters, or all of the monsters you control are plants, which all of these are, then you can special summon it from the graveyard. So it's super free, so next turn you always have a play. If you have no cards in hand, and your opponent somehow didn't finish you, and you summon Rikka Petal, you can go off next turn, definitely. 1 for 1, just to get easier access to Rikka Petal. And it's also good if you want to dump Hellbore or Erika because they do something in the graveyard as well. 3 trade-ins because you play a lot of level 8s and they are kind of bricky, like low-key. If you don't have any of the weenies and you have just the big ones, then it's a brick hand. And then 3 trade-ins to unbrick your hand. I'm playing 3 Pot of Extravagance. The reason being I'm playing 3 Pot of Extravagance. Oh, excuse me, I'm like swallowing a lot of air. The reason for this is, since I'm playing pure rikkafairies and not the Aromages version, there has to be some way to draw a lot of cards from the deck to the hand. This honestly has saved me from a lot of situations. And the Pot of Extravagance, that's the only reason why I play 3 of each extra deck card, is because I don't want to get rid of 3 of any individual card. It is possible I get rid of, let's say, 3 Teardrop or 3 Kanzashi when I need it the most, but it's really not likely because it's shuffled and it's randomized as such. You can definitely play other cards other than Extravagance, like Pot of Desires. It does do the job as well since you play a lot of 3-0s. But I tried Pot of Desires and I just didn't like it as much. Personal opinion. 3 Rikka Glamour. This is your searcher for the deck. If you sack one of your cards, then it searches 2 cards of that same level. So let's say you play Rikka Glamour and you have a, let's say, Rikka on the field. Rikka Petal on the field and you want to get rid of it. You play Rikka Glamour, tribute the Rikka Petal, and you can search for, let's say, 2 level 8s, so Snowdrop and Hellbore, or even Snowdrop and Titanium, if you really need that. I don't know why you do that, but it's a possibility it could come up. Or you can go Erika Mudon, or you can go Primula and Settlement. So interactions like that, Rikka Glamour is really good at, but most of the time, you only want to search 1 card with it. It's never, or usually it's not often where I search 2 cards with it. 2 Rikka Flurries. I have been getting bashed. This card is inconsistent for the deck, and I can agree to that to some degree. Okay, let me explain. The deck itself is not the most consistent deck, although it's very easy to combo start with Snowdrop, Hellbore. It's really easy to get Snowdrop on the field with, you have 3 Rikka Petals, so that's 3. 3 Lone Fire Blossoms, that's 6. 1 1-for-1, that's 7. 3 Rikka Glamours, that's not 10 cards, because the Glamour could get you whatever you need. And then not to mention the cards themselves. So you have 13, 14 starters in the deck, where you have 2 of, or at least 1 of these starters, you're pretty much good to go. With Rikka Flurries, you have some sort of interruption. You have something that, oh wait, the opponent gets to a point where I have to think about what I'm going to do next. Because my monster that is summoned, my BLS, my Boros Sword, may get tributed by Rikka Flurries. And this card honestly comes out of nowhere. Sometimes you have Rikka Tranquility, and you have Rikka Sheet face down. Maybe you play Rikka Tranquility, you special summon a card, then play Rikka Sheet. You tribute one of your own cards, take control of your opponent's monster, and then your opponent has to get rid of the last monster off of Flurries. It's a very, very strong, and a lot of people don't see it coming. Not saying it's the best card to play, but I personally like it in this build a lot. And then 2 Infinite Impermanence. Just because the deck does lose the Border, does lose the Vanity's Fiend, unfortunately a lot of Floodgates this deck gets destroyed by, including Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. So sad to say, it gets destroyed by Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. But Infinite Impermanence will do the job. Understanding the reason, for clarification, my bad. The reason why this deck loses to Blue Eyes is Blue Eyes Spirit prevents any player from summoning 2 or more monsters at the same time. And Snowdrop summons 2 monsters at the same time. So if you have Blue Eye Spirit on the field, I can't resolve Snowdrop at all. I can't even activate it. So Infinite Impermanence comes in handy there. 2 Tranquility, this is the Call of the Haunted. / Mind Control. So it can be good both ways. Also, you can, I know this is niche and sometimes it does come out, but since you play Rikka Tranquility and you take control of your opponent's monster, it becomes a plant. So if you have Lone Fire Blossom on the field, you can tribute that monster that you just took control of. You can even do this during main phase too. Then special summon one of your other plants from the deck. So you can get rid of their card so they never get it back. This card is technically like Mark of the Rose, but slightly better. And 2 Rikka Sheets. This is the not activatable effect. Oh, I was talking about Rikka Sheet, not Rikka Tranquility. Tranquility is the Call of the Haunted, and Rikka Sheet is the can't activate slash mind control, so to speak. Anyways, extra deck, 3 Teardrop, 3 Kanzashi. Since I'm playing Extravagance, I am playing 3 of each. But ideally, if I'm not, I would play 3 Teardrop and 2 Kanzashi. 3 Fairy Knight Igunar. I would only play 1 of these because it doesn't come up often. But if you don't know what this does, you can detach 2 from this card, return all other cards from the field to the hand. And your opponent cannot activate any cards or effects in response to this. So nothing. They cannot Solemn Strike this. They can't do anything. They have to get rid of it on summon. If they let the summon go through, it's over. That's it. Boom. Their whole field's gone. If you play Dark Ruler no more, you play Fairy Knight and Gunnar, boom. All sent away. Fairy King Albrovich. I've never actually summoned this. I do need more plants in the deck, so I am considering playing Alsay, the Sylvan card, but more often than not, I will summon cards other than Alsay, the Sylvan card. And if you're wondering what Alsay does, rank 8, it lets you excavate and look at the top card of your deck. Well, you declare a card name. If you call it right, then you add it, I believe. If not, you send it to the graveyard. So just usually call whatever. If you call it right, that's neat. If you call it wrong, it's still sent to the graveyard anyways. And you could potentially send Rikka or Hellborn into it. And also, you detach 1, you can target 1 card in the field. Unfortunately, it does target. Place it either at the top or the bottom. So it's a pretty good card. Kind of does the same as this, except it doesn't send it to the graveyard. It just sends it to the top or bottom. But also, Teardrop is a quick effect, while Alsay is not. Something to consider. And then, of course, 2 or 3 Aromages Jasmine. You contribute your cards, special summon any plant from your deck. How much better can you get? Alright guys, hope you all enjoyed the deck list. I know this is not meant to be super competitive, but I'm just trying to find a build that makes rikkafairies pretty fun. It's pretty neat. The Aromages build though, I have to say, will break the deck to new limits. If you all want to see the build, we'll get to 15 likes, and then I'll start doing replays with the Rikkafairy Aromages deck. It's a lot more big brain to play than this deck, but it can be done. Anyways, 15 likes. I'm AkemiTCG. Hope you all stay beautiful, and have a good one, guys. Peace.
The world ends now.